Welcome to the NovaLeague, I'm Gremlin, and I personally have shiny hunting community events to thank for the existence of this channel and the growth of my streams. My life completely changed and was set on the Pokemon streamer and video creator track because of the success of my first participation in Safari Week in 2021. And the really neat thing about Safari Week is that it's not an official Pokemon sanctioned event. It's a community affair. It's organized by the niche community of shiny hunters and is currently hosted by AbsoBlog's Pokemon. The cool thing about community events is that when they're happening, so many people are participating at the same time that when they go to Twitch or YouTube to find other people participating, it really lends to the discovery of smaller or newer creators. And Safari Week isn't the only shiny hunting event. It's just the one that's most special to me personally because of the history I have with it on the channel. But of course, there's Rumble Weekend, Uncatchable Week, Egg Month, and more recently Alpha Week, Fishing Week, Grand Underground Week, Ranch Week, Fossil Week, Casino Week, or The Weekend. And that's only naming the ones that I'm aware of or have participated in. In fact, there are so many shiny hunting events that it's becoming sort of difficult to keep up. Sir Toasty Toes, in collaboration with a few other people, is even trying to put together a calendar to keep track of shiny hunting events. People always pester the hosts of events asking them when the next one will be announced, and even when it is announced, there's no guarantee that everyone interested in participating will even see the announcement. And then, of course, you could miss out, or you could be busy during one of the events. And sure, you can always shiny hunt whatever you want, whenever you want, nobody's gonna stop you, but a lot of the fun of an event is that so many people are doing the same thing at the same time. You can sort of miss out on that camaraderie, which I think is the main draw above all else. So, naturally, in this environment of arguably too many shiny hunting events to keep track of, enough to require a calendar, I decided to make things harder on Toasty's calendar efforts and to bloat the collection of shiny hunting events even further. I want to give back to the community that gave so much to me and create my own shiny hunting event. So, I posted this announcement video on the NovaLeague's Bluesky account. Volume warning, by the way.
Wormhole Wednesday!
Starting now!
Every single Wednesday!
Until the end of time!
Did you go through a wormhole? Is it Wednesday?
Then it counts! Sponsored by Void Jumpers. Okay, so beyond those chaotic few seconds, what exactly is Wormhole Wednesday? Is it serious? And how does this solve any of the problems that have arisen surrounding shiny hunting events? Well, let me explain. This is sort of a half-joke shiny hunting event. The point is that technically, I only need to announce it once, because once it's started, it will never end. The first official Wormhole Wednesday was July 9th, 2025, and every subsequent Wormhole Wednesday will occur every Wednesday, every week, for the remainder of time in the known universe. The idea is to completely eliminate FOMO. If you missed out or were busy on any given week's Wormhole Wednesday, there's always literally just the next Wednesday. It's a very predictable event that you don't need to wonder about when it's gonna happen. It's also a super low stakes, low commitment event. The shiny odds in the Ultra Warp Ride minigame for standard Pokemon are some of the best shiny odds the Pokemon mainline series has ever seen. Type 1 wormholes always have a 1% shiny chance, which is insane because that's only about as rare as some regular Pokemon encounters. But it gets better. After 5,000 light years flown through Ultra Space, Type 2 wormholes will provide up to a 10% shiny chance, and Type 2 wormholes will have up to a 19% chance. But it gets even better because, assuming you've caught all the legendaries for a given wormhole color, if that wormhole happens to be a Type 4 and doesn't have a legendary to give you, it will give you a regular Pokemon with a 36% chance to be shiny. Those odds are ridiculous. The wormholes can really feel like a nice change of pace to interrupt some of your more tedious shiny hunts. AbsoBlogs participated in the first Wormhole Wednesday by flying through Ultra Space to see how far he could go, and then found a shiny first try, failed it, and then didn't feel bad about it because it's a wormhole shiny. So, participation in this event can vary wildly. You don't have to do it every Wednesday. Like I said, no one's forcing you to do anything, but if ever you have an itch to find a shiny, and it happens to be Wednesday, why not give it a shot? But hey, if incredibly boosted odds aren't your cup of tea, the wormholes also have legendaries. And unlike the raid dens you explore in BlueVacktor's The Weekend, shoutout Spingus by the way, the legendaries in the wormholes aren't actually at the full odds, unless you have the shiny charm. And insanely, the first Wormhole Wednesday netted at least one person out there a full odds legendary. And as limited as it seems that the event is dependent on you owning Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon, I'm actually not a stickler for the rules. Rules in shiny hunting events can vary wildly from super restrictive to very lax. Of course, you need rules to define an event, otherwise it would lose its identity, but I have some options outside of Ultra Sun and Moon. Origin Giratina in Platinum is a fully legit Wormhole Wednesday target. It might even be the crown jewel, as it's the only 1 in 8192 full odds target. It counts because, look at that. That's an Ultra Wormhole. The Distortion World is totally in Ultra Space. Also, yes, there are wormholes in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, but you, the player, don't travel through space to get there, and the Ultra Warp Ride minigame, to me, is the main draw of the event, so for me personally, I won't be doing any of those. But if that's your only option and want to participate, I'm not gonna, throw a brick at you or anything. Go nuts, it's in the spirit of the event. So, there are options, but there are limited options. See, for an event that's whole gimmick is that it lasts forever, there's a disappointingly small pool of potential encounters for the regular Pokemon you can find in the wormholes. In the blue wormholes, you can find Quagsire, Lombre, Floatzel, Stunfisk, and Barbaracle. In the green wormholes, you can find Nuzleaf, Grumpig, Drapion, Audino, and Heliolisk. In the red wormholes, you can find Swellow, Altaria, Yanmega, Sigilyph, and Swanna. And in the yellow wormholes, you can find Magcargo, Medicham, Hippowdon, Abomasnow, and Crustle. That's 20 possible targets. I want to, personally, collect every single shiny you can get in the wormholes as a sort of side quest to my Shiny Alola Dex Quest series. But eventually, I'd be done with my own event. So many Wednesdays would pass me by, but I thought of a solution. And it's gonna require some backstory, which would also explain why this is the mechanic I chose to build my shiny hunting event around. The Generation 7 Pokemon games released when my friends and I were in high school. This was the perfect storm. At the time, I was full in on becoming a writer. I was writing my first book series, Thrones of Time, and at the same time, I was making video games for statewide school-affiliated competitions. I never finished any of the games, but the ideas behind them never died, as I repurposed almost everything from my books, which I did end up finishing and eventually publishing. When Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon released, I was fascinated by the narrative themes of the multiverse. I was already fully steeped in my writing about time travel, and so the multiversal themes really stuck with me. The Ultra Recon Squad, a group of dimension-traveling adventurers, was such a cool idea, and seeing the sort of butterfly effect that their inclusion in Sun and Moon's plot caused, the way Necrozma sent ripples through the narrative that started off small but culminated in so many differences from the original games, all of this really stuck with me. And then there was the Ultra Warp Ride. I was obsessed with this minigame. I would shiny race my friends, the rest of the league, in class. I played this minigame all the time for hours on end, trying to see how far I could go and how many shinies I could get. By our senior year, it was time to make a new video game for competitions. Rando and I teamed up to work on a game about the multiverse. You played as a 5th-dimensional electric beetle, inspired by Grubbin, living in a lab on Earth with the goal of returning home to the 5th dimension. You had to jump through the void into the 4th dimension, and then the 5th, through levels connected by wormholes. I wanted to try my best to recreate the Ultra Warp Ride, and I played my version endlessly. Void Jumpers, the video game, was the closest we got to finishing a game, but even this I abandoned after we graduated. But I kept thinking about it, about the themes of the multiverse and the wormhole minigame. But beyond this, like with the other games I made, I repurposed the idea of Void Jumpers the video game into Void Jumpers the book series, which, if you're a regular here on the channel, you'll know all about it. But if you're putting the two and two together, the Void Jumpers books, arguably my best writing and definitely my most successful series, only exists because of Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and more specifically, because of the Ultra Recon Squad and the Ultra Warp Ride minigame. The connections run way deeper, and I'll explain them more for certain future Dex entries in my Alola Dex Quest project, but you know what you need to know for now, because here's where things get interesting. Something about the Ultra Warp Ride always intrigued me. Why these Pokemon? What was the decision-making process for Game Freak? What do these creatures have to do with alternate universes? Why are they specifically in these wormholes? I wish there were more than 20 of them. I wish I could change the encounters. After I streamed the first Wormhole Wednesday, I was reminded of this idea of the potential of changing the encounters. I have experience now with custom firmware and modding the game because of my lock removals I've done for the Dex Quest, but I wasn't sure where to start for creating my own mods. In fact, a lot of the tools necessary seemed to not be built for working on a Mac, so I was kind of out of luck for this pipe dream of changing the encounters. I brought up on stream the day after how I would love to replace all of the standard Pokemon you can find with hand-picked encounters that I can make direct connections with to concepts from the Void Jumpers books. I wanted to give back to the minigame that created the books by using the books to enhance the shiny hunting event. The idea, I feel, was similar to the Weekend Edition mod for Rumble Weekend. a mod that AbsoBlog's made to provide more encounters and more longevity to Rumble as a game for an event to be built around it. And when I said this, Absol in chat chimed in with the idea that he may be able to figure out how to help me make this dream a reality. And within the day, he did it. It was really simple, actually. The Void Jumpers DLC for Wormhole Wednesday exists. 20 brand new encounters that you can find in the wormholes with an incredibly easy to install mod, assuming you have custom firmware. Obviously, none of the Pokemon you will encounter with this patch will be legal for transfer, but that's beside the point. This is all for fun, and it's insane to me the way this came to be. If you want to install the mod, make sure game patching is enabled in your Luma menu, and in the root of your SD card, put the file I linked below in this folder structure for Pokemon Ultra Sun, and this folder structure for Pokemon Ultra Moon. It's that simple. Massive shout out and thank you to Absol for making this mod, and hopefully one day I'll have the means to modify the game myself, and who knows, maybe Wormhole Wednesday will get more DLC in the future. Now, for me personally, I won't be using this mod for a long time, as much as I really want to, and did for a bit to get footage for this video. I didn't catch any of the shinies I found, by the way. I'll reclaim them one day. I still have to collect all of the original encounters and all the legendaries first, and also, some of the modded wormhole encounters are for Pokemon that I need to get shiny in an official capacity for my Dex quest before I even think about seeing them in this admittedly very cheaty way. But I very much look forward to seeing people post their custom finds in future Wormhole Wednesdays. And if you're confused about some of the Pokemon I picked for this mod and why they're in the wormholes that they're in, well, read Void Jumpers. The first book is actually available for free as a live-streamed audiobook VOD on my second channel, and if audiobooks aren't your thing, I show every page on screen, so you can just watch it muted. Though, you're a shiny hunter. You probably need a 10-hour video to put on the background anyway, don't you?
Enan shook his head. Its body looks like a tardigrade, but that is 100% a shark head and tail. That's what ate the jellyfish, Cora said. Look at the shape of its mouth, it matches the bite. We can do research later, Pell interrupted. Harvesters have the thing chained up, we interrupted their plans, let's interrupt it some more, yeah? It's like Keenan ignored Pell. Shark tardigrade. A shardigrade. Really? Johnson crossed his arms. What, would you prefer Tark? I would.
Now, with all that information plain and simple in one place, go. Jump the void. I uploaded this on a Wednesday. I'm probably live right now. I will be streaming to the best of my ability every Wednesday until I've found them all, and I hope you guys have fun with this silly event too. Eventually I'll do some big video compilations of all my finds, so like and subscribe and look forward to that. In the meantime, I'll try to be consistent uploading shorts recapping every Wednesday. So thanks for watching, and good luck worming your hole. Hold on, wait, no, that's not, wait, hold on,